Hello, Kayla, I'm here. I got another set of videos for you, so let's get into it.
Can't convince me that men don't love more purely and more unconditional. Let me explain. Women can come into a relationship and have literally nothing. They can work a part-time job. They can be making minimum wage. They could have no money in their bank account. Some women can even be in debt and men will still accept them for exactly who they are because these men are looking for partnerships and wives. But also, men will accept women's psychotic breaks. Men will accept the irrational behavior. They will tolerate so much disrespect. It can be dragged. Men that truly love women will let their women put them through the ringer. And
That only goes up to a certain extent. For instance, if you want to get the guy on a rag, blah, 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 it's been going on for months on end. At some point, he just breaks and is like, nope, I'm done. I can't do this no more. Like, for the most part, okay, yes, we will go through thick and thin to try and make it work as much as possible. But enough is enough.
they still won't leave. They love these women for exactly who they are. And even if she wants to change her career or go to nursing school, 9 times out of 10, he's going to help her and fund that and support her. Whether she's dressed up or she's dressed down, there's nothing about her that he doesn't love.
But yeah, for everything else that she's saying, yeah, I definitely completely agree with everything that she's saying. She is on the mark.
Because he fell in love with her for exactly who she is.
Good for her. She knows what she's talking about.
Women, on the other hand, have a laundry list of expectations and standards that change based on the men that they're with. And then it changes even more once the men meet those requirements or those expectations because they are expecting these men to fill the unhappy void that's basically unfillable because it's something that she has to do within herself. Women love with conditions. They don't love purely. And it's conditional based on what he can give her. And that's why you hear so many women leave after men lose their jobs. Women expect their men to always be changing and be in tune with their emotions. But guess what? 9 times out of 10, women don't even understand their own emotions and expect men to just kind of guess as they go. And it's just not the same for men. Men love more purely and more unconditionally, and you can't convince me otherwise. Okay, bye.
Like, a lot of that is true, but I will need to double check.
Women,
that.
on the other hand, tend to.
Yeah, is this part. Men expect to be changing in tune with their emotions. The moment that a guy is in tune with his emotions, that's when the female's like, oh, no, 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 that's too much. No, you're too nice now. Blah, blah, blah. You're too in tuned. And then they just try to have that excuse to try and get rid of you. It's not cool. Like, I don't understand the pure thought process. Yeah, sure. She says it's instinctual, but how instinctual is it really?
Only women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally. A man is only loved under the condition that he provides something. Fellas, when you meet a new girl, what do your friends ask you? What she look like? Ladies, when you meet a new guy, what do your friends ask you? What does he do?
All of us start out as boys, and we all reach a point in our lives when we are no longer loved unconditionally, and we must go out and earn our love and respect from others. We reach a point where we must leave the protection of our mother and father and are required to go off into the world to prove ourselves and others that we have what it takes.
When society and
That's completely true. For some, it's sooner rather than later that you end up leaving your family world, stuff like that. But for the most part, your parents are there. They are taking care of you. You don't have to explore the world. Although, in my opinion, it's better to explore sooner rather than later to get a grip on things.
I believe a man can love a woman unconditionally, but I don't think a woman can love a man unconditionally.
What? Really?
Yeah.
I beg to differ. I think it's the other way around.
No.
I think a woman can love a man unconditionally, and
Not
most
for,
men.
Not forever.
You don't think so?
No.
Damn.
No. I think when a man loves a woman for real, like, he'll love her forever.
Yep. I wanted to know what the other person had to say in response to that because she would beg to differ, but what would her excuse be? As for the other one, well, she's just speaking the truth.
Women can say stupid like unconditional love. There's no such thing as unconditional love. Everything is loved under a condition. The closest thing you're going to get to unconditional love is maybe a dog or a child. But if they piss you off to a degree, that love has its limit, right? Like there's always conditions to everything. Every agreement in life, every relationship in life, every love in life, it's always conditional to some degree. Maybe some conditions might be less than others, but regardless, everything is conditional to a degree. There's no such thing as unconditional love. That's a lie. I would argue, if anything, men love women harder than women love men. Women, hold on, let me tell you why. Because here's the difference between men and women. Women love men opportunistically for what men can provide for them. You don't even give a guy a chance unless he meets a bunch of requirements for you.
False for me.
What?
False for you. Meanwhile, majority of the women, especially that Caucasian one right there, yeah, she knows he's speaking the truth. She had nothing to say to that.
What about unconditional love? Does that exist?
No. It does for women. It doesn't exist for men. Women can be unconditionally loved by society as a whole. No matter how bad it is a thing women do, if she's pretty, bro, a woman could go and kill 10 people. But if she was smoking hot and her mugshot came up, it'd be all over Twitter. Kill me anytime, babe. They'd love her anyway. She's hot. That's it. Women can be unconditionally loved. Men are only loved for how useful we are. The second you become a useless man, you'll see how cold and heartless this world is. Nobody gives a solitary about men can't fix problems.
True.
That's why we exist. So unconditional love does not exist for men. It never has been, never will.
Good for him, preaching to the choir. Not much to say.
I wish men knew about women. Number one is being too sexual too soon equals the ick. Now, I'm pretty reasonable when it comes to icks, okay? I've called out the unrealistic ones and the ones that are just ridiculous, but this isn't one of them. And for the love of God,
yeah, it still bothers me with that first one because there's so many women that want to hop on that trampoline the moment that she gets. Meanwhile, there are a decent amount of guys that don't think about it right away. Then there's other ones that want to do it immediately. Like, sure, you'll have some on both ends, but I've seen this from so many women that just want to hop on that trampoline as soon as she could.
God, don't send a dick pic to a girl that you just met. The next thing that you need to know about women is that playing the waiting game or playing games attracts toxic women. There are so many dating coaches online who tell you to play mind games, who tell you to wait 3 days after a date to text her, and all of this other garbage. My advice would be, don't do that. Quit the toxic crap. If you had a nice time on the date, text her when you get home telling her that. And I know a lot of you will say the famous line, don't ask a fish how to catch a fish, or don't take dating advice from a woman. And my response to that would be, women want to be caught. Fish don't. And I'm telling you exactly how to do it.
Now, take it with a grain of salt, but sometimes for what she says is not exactly true, but I myself, I would definitely send a message once when I get home, say on how great it went, stuff like that, just to try and have the conversation going. At times it is good to wait, let's say 24 hours after that message from the night where I got home, dinner went well, hope to see you again. Just wait 24 hours, whatever. No big deal if you have her wait a couple days and that adds up to be annoyance.
Can we talk about the man that has never really felt appreciation or respect without hidden intentions or conditions? Yet he's expected to just be a man without affirmation, without love, without even just being told he's enough. That man is not dumb. He knows that he deserves better. So when you try to bring more and more conditions for your love into his life, he will just be done.
Yep. Because if you put in more and more conditions, okay, you want me to do A, B, and C. Now you have D through F. And then it just keeps adding on to the point where you had too much of a load. What's the point in continuing this? It's just not worth it.
How do you feel about the statement, only women and children and dogs receive unconditional love, but men are only loved under the condition that they provide something?
I disagree.
I think there's some truth in that. There's some truth in that.
Where do your opinions differ?
I don't know. I don't know.
Any woman that's worth having has options.
Yeah.
She has a roster. I'm pretty sure she got like 10 in her phone right now that are trying to pursue her. That don't mean she wants them, but yeah, it's gonna be a little hard, especially if they have value. She look like she take care of herself, so you know you got to come right, be clean, cut your fingernails, clean your fingernails, you know.
Well, do you think that unconditional love is real, or are people really only as loyal as their options?
I think 1,000% like unconditional love is real.
So there are guys who you could call now who you kind of fell out with who would still come to your aid.
1,000%.
Like I said, she has options, so she's looking for the person who can provide the most.
He just keeps aiming for that one line, and she's really not saying much to it, so she can't really deny it in that situation. Well, that was the end of the video. I hope you liked it, so like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.